Okay, so in that case, when I have a go. Hello everybody, nice to see you here. My name is Lars. I'm currently here representing openSUSE-Education live and in color. And I just want to first start to thank all of those guys who are working on this nice openSUSE-Education project. As you can see, there are just 3 people currently working at SUSE who are handling the openSUSE-Education. Jan Weber, I guess some of you, some people might have seen him already. He's currently project manager and product manager. Then there is Peter Vakuli. I sadly have no picture of him. But he's developing the Open School Server. And someone who's called Kleiner Eisbär normally when you find in IRC. So I'll be always there. And as you can see, we have a lot more that are doing all that nice stuff that I just can't present here at the moment. So one of these is Yigish. You can see him here. Currently, he's the driver behind all openSUSE-Education progress that you can see in the public. So even he has created 12.3, the live education version. And he has some nice students working for him. And I don't know how he managed it. At least they produce always the well-recognized logos and boot splashes and so on for him. So I don't know what he puts on them to get all this kind of stuff, but it works. Andrea is now a teacher in Italy. When he started with openSUSE-Education, he was, I guess, still a student, so now getting one step further. And James, you can see him here, is in the US, doing all the crazy stuff, promoting us in the US, and he runs an own school district in Boston with around 5,000 schools. Guess what's running there? Not on all desktops, meanwhile, but most of the servers are currently running openSUSE-Education, and especially all those web applications, so he can manage students with them. And yes, Jordi and David, coming from, let's say, other distributions, especially David is normally with Ubuntu. The interesting part was once he asked me, he came into a discussion in FOSDEM, I guess. He asked me, what are you doing? It's so hard in the Ubuntu to get something new. I just want to implement some Moodle stuff, to get some courses online for Linux for education and so on. And I said, let me guess. Next day I get to him back at FOSDEM and said, okay, here's your URL, here's your Moodle installation, please start. And that's where they say, okay, that's nice, wonderful. I begged the other guys 2 years to get this. Now I have it in 1 day. And I said, okay, you get it very fast. Now you have to deliver very fast. And so he filled up the Linux for education.org domain with all the content. So we have currently around 50 online courses there where people can learn how Linux works in education, which is, from my point of view, a really nice success. And then we have others, most of them teachers, some students, and many, many more working on parts of that, what you can see as openSUSE-Education. So we have someone who makes the designs, some packagers, and many, many teachers trying it out at schools and reporting back. Sadly, most of the time they report back bugs, no success stories, but okay, we can live with it. Okay, if you want to join us, here's the URL, openSUSE Education Team. That's where you can find us, and that is also the place where you normally can find how to reach us. Okay, just to give you a short history, I prepared something on the web to have it easier, so let's see how it works. Cool. Oh no. Better? Okay. So now I cannot see anything here on my laptop, but there. Okay. 2002 is not the right year. Of course not. We missed 1 point. Okay. 2001. Could you imagine that SUSE has something for schools since 2001? It started with 6.4, SUSE Linux 6.4, when some teachers in Germany started to develop a school server just to help schools bring all the clients into the internet. That was the starting point. And in 2002, SUSE just jumped onto this really new, brand new market and says, okay, there are already some school servers around based on Linux. Now we will do it as profession. And SUSE had a cooperation with Fürth, the uni in Fürth. And those said, good, you develop a school server for us. That was the point when the SUSE Linux school server was developed. It reached the market, 2002. In 2004, SUSE decided, okay, it's more or less outdated already. We need to refresh it, but get no money from it. So we do the outsourcing. And the SUSE Linux school server was outsourced to the Axis GmbH. It's still alive. So, okay, a bit kidding. So you have a school server since 2001. Means for 12 years already up and running, based on SUSE Linux. And it's still alive, currently based on /11 SP3. So what comes next? Oh yes. Desktop for education. 2006, started desktop for education. Some guys in Austria decided, okay, the whole Austrian country should only use Linux for now. They are still working on it, but they already have some progress. Last time I met them, they told me that 25,000 clients are already running Linux there. And good to know, openSUSE Linux. So in 2005, the developers of the school servers have a meeting with guys from Debian, with guys from Scholar Linux, Fedora, there was also one guy, and Ubuntu was not there because they didn't exist there. And they decided to have some agreement about how a school server should look like. So some requests for comments coming out for the file system structure, so people and end users can exchange the school servers if they decide not to like them or whatever. And in 2006 also there was a first release of a distribution called Linkat, based on something around, I guess, SUSE Linux 10.1. They just enhanced this SUSE Linux distribution with some additional education applications. And meanwhile we got them into the boat. So Linkat 2.0 or 3.0 is now based again on openSUSE Linux, using the applications which are in the openSUSE-Education repository. Okay, I cannot read it again from here. Okay. 2008, openSUSE.org should be there already. That was also the case when openSUSE-Education project was founded officially. And as one of the first steps, we got an own range on FTP SUSE.com. So there we got an own project, we get own wiki pages. And that was when the current openSUSE-Education project really started. So before it was just some underground projects. People make money out of it, but it was not officially. 2008, Google Summer of Code. We got a student, which is now called Jan Weber, working here for us at SUSE, developed the Easy LTSP client, helping teachers to run Pixie clients without having the need to go to the console. So with easy LTSP, I can show you some pictures later, and maybe even if this laptop works, I can show you in live. You just say, okay, I have the following keyboards, the following resolutions on my monitors. Please go for it. Then easy LTSP will create a configuration file for you, configure all the services that are needed, DHCP, TFTP, and so on. And then you can simply power on all your other machines, and they will just start up, coming up with the latest openSUSE education distribution. And also, we got a new logo in 2008. Yeah, and then it starts when people start noticing that there is something around openSUSE which is called education, and we got a lot of press and a lot of boosts on different fairs like Didacta, like FOSDEM, like LinuxTag, and so on, where we showed up and presented our Linux distribution, and as a result, we also get good press releases from different vendors, from different magazines, and that was really the most funniest part, because you had those hard work in front first, and then you can earn at least some press statements there, and that was really funny. So, and in the end, I guess more or less it is the end. Yep, nearly. We are now at openSUSE for Education live, based on openSUSE 12.3. Questions so far? Wow, good. So let's see what I have next. Okay, the goals for openSUSE education. So, maybe no project without goals. So we also have one. Support schools using Linux. And please, read it carefully. We do not write openSUSE here, because we don't care in the end if it's just openSUSE or if it's Ubuntu or if it's Fedora or whatever you like. At least someone should know the operating system behind it. Yes, if the school is running Linux, they can contact us. We try to fix or help them as much as possible. So, as I mentioned already, it's just Linux, so we try to build a cross-distribution community, and we already have contact with the Fedora guys, with some of them, with Ubuntu, and also with the School Linux team, which is based on Debian at the moment. Work together with upstream developers, I guess this is normal. Support home users and their kids. That's interesting for us. We are not far with this step, because we started, I guess, 2 years ago, writing an own Just module for this. So people can simply define some websites, some services that their kids can use. So it's limited. When the kids jump into the machine, want to surf somewhere, they just have a limited amount of URLs that they can use, or even limit the amount of applications they can run, so they can just, for example, run some games or some learning stuff and no games, or the other way around. So I get it. But we are not far from this, because the Google Summer of Code student just decided not to finish it. So the state is currently open, so if here's someone who wants to migrate everything to the new Just with Rake and Rails, fine, just contact me afterwards. Yes, provide the best applications for servers and desktops, especially for those education guys. I guess that's not surprising. And contribute to and improve openSUSE. Yes, we're currently trying to push more and more of our packages, which normally start up in the education repository in the build service, to the real openSUSE distribution. So I guess for 12.3 we make a big step forward, got at least 20 packages inside. But yes, there's a lot of more to do. The problem is educational packages are not so easy often because mostly students write them when they begin to study computer science, and packaging them is not always easy because you have to patch a lot, you have to try to align them with the rules that the distribution has, and so for us it's often a hard work to get a new application up and running, even if the user says, oh, it's so easy, normally I just configure, make, install, and it is there. But if you want to push it into a distribution, you have to follow other rules and other guidelines, and openSUSE is very strict what they accept into the real distribution. So you need packages, yes. Finally, that's our question that we always ask ourselves. Wherewith do the people teach tomorrow? So we want them to switch from this crazy little distribution with the windows in it to something that is more useful. Okay. The question is now, how many of those goals are fulfilled already? Yes, we have currently over 400 packages in the education repository. Not all of them are education packages, I'm sorry. The problem is that most of those applications need special libraries, third-party packages, and so on. So you can say we have around 150 real educational applications in this education repository. We have an own domain, openSUSE-Education.org, which is completely independent from openSUSE and SUSE, so we can even provide some stuff that SUSE does not like to provide. We have this domain, I mentioned already, Linux for Education.org, where we host all that training stuff. And we have a live ISO, and the interesting part is as the live ISO is hosted on openSUSE-Education.org, we have no problem to include such crippled stuff like FFmpeg or the video LAN client. So if you use our ISO image, you directly can start watching movies, playing your normal MPEG plays, and so on. It's one of the benefits when you're independent from such a big company as Project. Yes, and we got assistant from other companies already. So openSUSE Media for Schools in Germany, we did this in the past and hopefully we'll make it again. Desktop for Education, Server for Education, I mentioned it already. They're jumping over into our boat now. The cooperation with the Access GmbH, which is running the Open School Server, providing us the ability to provide users who install the Open School Server with an AutoJAS profile, so they can simply push up their clients once and have it installed and integrated into their school environment just by saying, yes, I want it. And with LinkHut, which is currently, they're using openSUSE, but they're currently evaluating what's going on next because they have no more money. So currently they focus more or less on themselves. We lost a bit the contact with them. Yes, of course, and we have a great community. People asking around, creating web pages, helping with documentation and so on. It's really nice. Oh, what we want. Yes. Show people how easy it is. And I guess with this live DVD and the USB sticks that we can provide now, it's really easy. So people can just jump into their schools, put the DVD or the USB stick in their PCs, start up, and don't have to care about their hard disk because we don't touch them. So everyone knows Knoppix, and this Knoppix is especially for educational users. We have it. Yes. Better promotion is one of the big tasks for the next months. So we started right now, giving a talk here. And we will contact all those magazines again to get some press release and so on, to get some announcements out. And of course, everyone is already invited here to join us. step in, ask questions. We have an own mailing list. We have an IRC channel, openSUSE-Edu on Freenode. And yes, more or less that's it from the presentation. But if you like, and if I still have some time, I will like to show you what we have as a desktop solution with Live. Try automatically, helps. Okay? Whatever you want from me, it's okay. Okay, so this is what you normally get when you boot one of those ISO images. It just takes too long to show it here that it boots. So I decided to install it and then forget the DVD. As you can see, it's a standard openSUSE distribution. So nothing to hide, nothing special, beside all those special packages that we add to the DVD. So one of my favorites, because my little daughter likes it so, is J'ai compris. Who knows it already? Just one? Mm-hmm. Okay. Turn on the sound. This little application is maintained by Bruno Cordin, a French guy, a nice guy, a really nice guy. I have the pleasure to meet him in Belgium during the FOSDEM. And he's writing this application, I don't even know since when. I would say 2006 or so. So you can really easy start, for example, train your people to use the right and left mouse buttons. Or in this kind of area, just the tastature, the keyboard. So, okay, I guess you see, this is one game, and there are a lot of others. So, oh, doesn't fit into the monitor here, into the beamer. Okay, so now I have to type the words here before they reach the ground. Otherwise, I will get the again. So start learning how to type correctly on your keyboard. So next category. Just discover the Braille system. So if you have one, it's easy. I don't have it at the moment, so sorry. Memory, always great. Just one thing I like to mention for your information. Those stars here show you how difficult the game is. So, first class, second class, third class, fourth class in school. So, primary schools normally. And here you can see playing memory, a game that I always lose. Okay, give it up. Also some physics, some experiments. So if you ever want to know how to operate such a, what's called Schleuse in English? What? A lock, okay. So here now you have to see how it works. Okay, now I can drive in. I trained this over and over again to make it right, hopefully. Close the door again. Open, so the water can come in. Or not, right? It's the wrong one. Oh, shit. Close it again. Open this one. And if I'm right, I should be able to open the door again. Yes! Okay. So just some physical experiments that you can do here. Or learn. learn how to... Oh. So my task is now to have a shower, because I'm Tux. I'm coming in from the outside here, go home. Hopefully this fits on the beamer. No. Bye-bye. So Tux is now at home, know what I have to do. Try to get some water here. So let's see how I get it. No, it's wrong, it's wrong. Oh. Okay, you have to click on it to find out what you need. So get some clouds, rain, put it into the water and so on. You can also play around with electronics. So maybe you need a battery here, put it together, and light maybe. And oh, what's this? Didn't know. So now connected, hopefully. Oops. And now you see, hopefully, that this light is already on. Oh, and if I make a mistake, it should go off again. Okay, works. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't remember me how long I studied for this. And yes. What happens now? Je Compris integrates other software. At this moment, it's Tux Paint, where people can just easily say, I'm painting now. Having some birds here, some frogs. So I hope you know, you hear. Let's take this one. Sometimes it also says the name of the bird or so. So yeah, it's funny. Sometimes you want to quit. Yes, I'm done. No, better not this one. And then it takes a moment, then it jumps back to the Je Compris. By the way, Je Compris means I understand. And so here you have 3 stars, makes it a bit more complicated. Painting pictures again, doing some mathematics. So please type in the right number before Tux is going into an earth. And so on. So I'm always losing here. Better go back. Puzzles, reading activities, games, so you can also play chess if you like, with your kids. It's already all there. And for new ones, there are also some chat activities if you're in a classroom, so they can start chatting with each other and so on. And there are other areas, so brain workshop is one example. So choose the game mode. As long as it just starts, I will open another one. So training languages, flashcard learning. I guess most of us know it, how to learn English or something. Have a card and get the same question. What's the name in English? Again and again. So you can do it here now online. Learn the alphabet of different languages, for example. And yeah, Tux type is also something to learn typing. For chemical guys, Avocado is sometimes very nice, especially if you have a 3D on your laptop, because they can simply start painting some interesting molecules and get a look at the periodic system of the elements. No, not this one. and so on and so on. Teaching, there's even a Bible study tool, if you like. And the interesting part is that these are just the applications that ship with the DVD. So overall, I would say there are 50, special for education. But we have way more the education repository, which is normally added automatically in the next release of this DVD. So when you download the next version, it's automatically there. For the moment, you just have to add the education repository manually. It's also not that problem because Just helps you here. And Just will also help you if you have a standard openSUSE version installed. Oh, I guess it's Linux. Worth to mention because if you run the live DVD, it's also Linux as password. And yeah, software repositories. It will not work at the moment, but if you go here to community repositories, or maybe it works. Woo! I have WLAN. Okay. Ah, nice. There you should see that there is already somewhere where is it? Benchies. Maybe because I edited it before. Okay. So normally there is also openSUSE Build Service Education Repository where you just need to click on it, trust the new key, and then you're done. Once you did that, you can go back to your software management. Great, I've redone. Okay. So, and here you can have a view on patterns, and there you can see you have education patterns. So, standard education patterns also include iTalk. This is this little icon that you can see down there. This is important for teachers who want to remotely control the desktops of their students. So each student's desktop will have this iTalk icon running as root, so students can't kill it, but allowing the teacher to have a look at their desktop and jump into and take over the mouse, the keyboard to help them, or just to show their screen on the beamer, or do other crazy stuff with them. Yes?
For the iPad server, what is the master number in your physical text, real text for casting the teacher's screenshot to the student? Because we have actually using university. So for casting, there might be 60, or might be 50 or 60 per line. The iPad server will affect for
It just depends on your network in the end. My experience is if you have 1 gigabit switch, you can run up to 20 clients on it. But you will see that it's sometimes flickering when you have all those 20 on the overview map. You just need to, oh, iTalk is already there. Oh no, still starting, sorry. So if you get this overview view, just will every 5 seconds refresh the screens of the students. And when you take over, it's instantaneous normally. The problem is just when you run more than 20, you probably get problems inside the network. That's true. But yeah, then it might be interesting to think about separating the LANs. So you have just one dedicated iTalk server or master for this amount of machines. Of course, the funny part is, I have to say it, it's open source, so if you want to enhance it, jump into the code. But this is what I can tell you from my experiences. And in Germany, normally you don't have more than 20 clients inside a computer lab. And then it just works. You can also shut down the machines, which is very important. Okay. So here you can see for kids, for small kids, there are already some selections. All this physics cache is there. Okay. And for the older ones, we have more, of course. Because for the older ones, you can just also integrate something that is not really like FB Reader, not really just for education. But we have it, we include it, so if you click on this, you get it installed. There are also a lot of others which are just there as suggestions, so normally they don't get installed, but if you run, for example, a computer-aided design application like PythonCat, you can just find it here. Okay, other questions? No, we changed some microphones, I guess.
Thank you. Short question actually. Is it desktop environment specific, like bound to KDE or GNOME, or do you have a specific preference in windowing toolkits like Qt?
So we normally prefer either GNOME or KDE. We did not much testing on LXDE, but what we have as additional window application is Sugar. So if you like, you can also start a Sugar desktop. But be warned, if you never ever heard about Sugar before, you might be surprised. Sugar is a completely other desktop environment. But it's on the live DVD. If I log out and log in, if nobody complains, I can do it hopefully. And you will see that it's completely different.
One more question, if I may. The KDE stuff, do you also test it on KDE on that other little desktop platform with the Windows?
Sorry, if you test KDE on KDE, no.
No, do you actually, in the distribution, test the KDE packages?
Yes.
Also on this other desktop environment with Windows, because we have KDE for Windows, of course, and if I would like to run some educational software
on Windows?
Yeah.
No, we do not test it, sorry. Because we just have all the stuff running on openSUSE, and for us, that's just far enough to test.
Pull this off.
Be invited. Come on and join us.
We'll probably do.
Okay. There was a question behind you?
Hi, Lars. So, where are you with localization? So, looking at the whole world, there are a lot of different types of languages, of letters used. Think of the Greek alphabet, of Chinese. Where are you with that? I have seen the demonstration was mostly in English, even the language being spoken. So where are you with localization? And where do you need most of the help?
We are as far as openSUSE normally with the localization, because most of those applications, especially, for example, J'ai Compris that I showed you today, has already been translated into 20 different languages. And even what we did in the past, not yet, when we switched over to use completely the build service, we also translated all those RPM descriptions into different languages. But currently with the build service, this is not an easy task. We just leave it out for the moment. So all RPM descriptions are in English, of course. But for the application, it just really depends on what the application provides. So always help is welcome, but not for the openSUSE education project in this case. So if you find some bug or you want to translate some application, please contact upstream. So the real developers of this application, they are always mentioned somewhere. So you can contact them and provide them the translations that are needed. So even other distributions can benefit from it.
Sounds great, thanks. And one more question. The live DVD has all the localizations, or?
No. We have some space limits, so we stuck with English at the moment, but you can easily install other languages as normal with the openSUSE, just by choosing just languages, add language, and then go for it. So but even the applications that we have some so-called language packs, which are then automatically selected. Here in the middle.
Hi, thanks. Do you have such an implementation, or are you aware where the is SUSE education is implemented in the way that it's launched from the LTSP server. Since what I'm asking is the most school districts, at least in Finland, are using that system in the way.
You're reminding me that I wanted to show something. That's why we have this easy LTSP, because we rely on a LTSP project. I know that there are currently other projects like X2Go and so on, which we are currently evaluating, but we are not far with packaging. 2 years ago, we were the first ones having X2Go as packages, but now we lack the package maintainer there. But we currently rely on LTSP completely. So with easy LTSP, you do nothing more than setting up your own LTSP server directly here on the machine. So in the end, when you go through this installation step, so LTSP, oh, my Linux password. So let me see if I can make it. Create a configuration, no. Yes, it's okay. Root, no, file system, serve, whatever. Oh, stop. Oh, stop. So as you can see here, we have already our Pixie boot environment. Now I'm lost here in the directories. Revert last saved, maybe I get it. Okay, I create my own now. So there's a section for computer number 1. Standing somewhere, and I can say, okay, my LTSP server is this none, and I can say, okay, my screen resolution is whatever I like to type, and for thin clients I can just try to find some and add them here. So yeah, better to show this later, because I have to take care of the time at the moment. Ah, no! I have to save it, okay. And then, no. In the end, you can start your server if you make it right with the restart button, and then it will show up. Ah, too late. But there is a video on YouTube how to do it. So I'm not the guy who can show you this here directly. But if you look on the English openSUSE.org wiki, portal education, there you can see there's a description to Kiwi LTSP, and there is the link to the YouTube video showing how to set up this to run an LTSP server directly. It's 3 or 4 minutes, because it's more or less easy if you understand how it works.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Other questions? Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Much question, but regarding some research on the effects of environments with vivid colors and vivid and bright colors on the attention and the focus of children. I do see here some competing interests. From the one, you have, on the other hand, you have to market this software to children. You have to make it attractive to them. But on the other hand, you have to. This software has to have some positive effects on their effects on their brain. I don't know if I'm interpreting these researches correctly, but how do you balance these interests?
You mean the marketing interest from SUSE with the one from the project, or?
marketing this software takes from the graphic point of view, the graphics has to be focused on children, but on the other hand, this might have some negative effects on them.
Sorry, you mean comparing with openSUSE?
No,
I'm
just
lost.
the
Just didn't understand the question.
just the software.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
I think what he means is that an application like. All right. I think what he means is an application like Check has a lot of very bright colors, while recent research actually indicates that small children have difficulty concentrating if an application interface has lots of bright colors, which is distracting. So I think the question is, how do you balance that? I'll give the microphone back now.
I'm not aware of this. Sorry, I just didn't aware of this. Is there some link or so where I can read this?
I don't have the link in hand, but I can look it up.
Okay, just give me your email and I'll ping you again and again to get some information about this. It's new for me, sorry.
No more question? Okay, we are done, and one last presentation in the
Okay, thank you.